Solo leveling. After Lady Selner arrived at the national-level hunter Christopher Reid's estate, she informed him that he would soon go meet Grandpa in the near future. Christopher suddenly puts down his cup of tea, telling her even though he hasn't forgotten what she's done for him, they're not close enough to joke around with each other, angrily saying if she seriously thought there was someone capable of killing him. Selner responds, saying she recently had a dream about him. Christopher still doesn't look convinced, as Selner explains that in that dream, he was surrounded by men. Chris interrupted her, shouting that she just came here to spew bullshit just because some dream she had, saying that he knows all about her former profession before awakening, since there were rumors about the source of her unique ability, and that it's rooted on the fact she used to be a psychic. Selner is left speechless, as Christopher keeps yapping about how he's a national-level hunter and nobody can kill him. Selner tries to explain again that in her dream, Chris cuts her off again, saying, "Dream this, dream that," and asks that even if he were to believe her, who would he be able to ask for help, because it would be impossible for someone that has enough power to protect him to exist. Lady Selner responds, saying that there might be someone who could help him, telling him that Sung Papa Wu, a hunter of his caliber, could provide him with protection. Sung Jin Woo? Walking through the gate, Jin knows he had to kill the king. That was the right move. His strength was overwhelming, even though he was sealed by special chains. If he had completely freed him and let him venture outside as he wished. Jin thanks the holy goodness he saw through the monarch before that happened. Jin tells himself he needs to get stronger. The news that the giants have been wiped out spread across the globe quickly. Social media was going wild, saying there may be a new national authority rank hunter. The difference between this and Jeju Island is it wasn't only the Koreans saying it. The giant that traveled across the sea was taken out by China's Liu Zhigang. The Japanese Hunter Association's president Matsumoto gave himself up. Whether it was to take responsibility for his actions, his reasons for doing so were unknown. On the other side of the globe, in the state of Maryland, the American hunters who successfully raided the S-rank gate were about to celebrate in the party organized by the U.S. government, complimenting the effort the government put into the party since it was an S-rank gate. Scarface agrees with Baldy, adding that the raid went better than expected. Thomas Andre, finding out where the two hunters are, questions if they remember their bet. One bet their yacht, the other their mansion, and what did Baldy bet again? Telling Baldy that he's got a nice necktie, the Baldy restates that he didn't bet, but Thomas Andre can be persuasive, asking if she likes his necktie. Laura tells Thomas that it doesn't really fit his Hawaiian shirt. Throwing the necktie, telling her he thought the same thing, Laura tells him they have a problem. The list of guilds invited this year by the International Guild Conference has been released, and the Korean Ajin Guild was included. Thomas questions this, to which Laura tells him the guild formed by Hunter Sung Jin Woo. So he's coming to America, Thomas says with a cheeky grin. This picks back up in the remnants of Japan next time. Jin is ashamed that he couldn't get the giant that crossed the sea, but he still increased his strength. Astonished, soldiers question if that's Jin Woo's ability. Pridefully, Jin Ho smirks, thinking anyone seeing Jin's ability for the first time would be surprised. Approaching the Vice Guild Master with a phone, he directs Hanakawa to Jin. However, she notifies Jin Ho that it's for him. Answering the phone, he is struck with an uneasiness. Apologizing to Jin, he tells Jin Ho he has to go back to Korea. Jin asks if something's wrong, but Jin Ho says that he doesn't know the details either. He has a family problem, so he has to return. Hanakawa informs the Vice Master that she'll be escorting him out of here, and he tells Jin that he'll be leaving first, respectfully. He questions what could have happened, as he's never heard his mother's voice shake that much. Keeping himself from overthinking, Jin Ho tells himself that it might not be anything important. At the Incheon National Airport, Jin Ho's family slave asks for him to follow, as there is a car waiting for the young master. Jin Ho is confused as the young master is asked to steal his heart, and he will explain as they walk. It's a long story, but Chairman Yu Myung-han has entered the final sleep stage. Yelling for his father, the slave tells Jin Ho that he mustn't get too close. Hunters who are unable to control their magical power will only worsen the condition if they are in proximity. Sadly leaning on the glass, Jin Ho calls himself a useless son to the very end. Questioning what it is, the slave hands the young master a book explaining explaining that it's what the chairman was working on just before he lost consciousness. He kept it in case he would look for it when he reawakens. But the slave thinks Jin-ho needs it more right now. Looking through the catalog, tears well in his eyes, seeing that his father also had the habit of keeping news articles he likes, like Father, Like Son. All the competitions, exhibitions, and concours he and his sister participated in. He saved them all, even recent events. Mr. Butler tells Jin-ho that it's not that the chairman didn't love him. He simply had high expectations, as much as he loved him. Telling him that they should return home, the young master agrees. Suddenly, he's struck with a feeling. Whipping his head back, he's confused to see nothing, so they continue forth out of the hospital. Out of the shadows, Jin-woo appears, saying he didn't have to go and cry, giving him heartburn. He pops a bottle of holy water of life. Getting out of her car and walking into the hospital, Jin-hee notices Jin-woo on his way out. Sometime later, Ma Young-han wakes from his slumber, greeted by his astonished daughter. The chairman questions his waking from the final sleep as the doctors stand flabbergasted, adding that the media will go crazy when they find out about this. Watching from outside, Jin turns and walks away, wishing Jin-ho a happy early birthday. Later, he tries to wrap things up in Japan, but his shadow exchange skill is still on cooldown. Jin questions what he should do for 2 hours. Now that he actually has free time, he's not sure what to do, and he doesn't have anyone to call either. Sure he does. Hey. Letting out a deep sigh, he decides to see if he can find any ownerless dungeons.